What is Node? It's not a programming language, but rather a runtime that allows you to run JavaScript on a server. So it's no longer just PHP or Java. And famous websites are actually built using Node, like Netflix, Facebook, Pinterest, LinkedIn, and the website of NASA. How it works. You actually visit a URL in your browser that points directly to your server. When a request is received, we can use Node to handle that request and read a file from the server's file system that responds to the client so that they can view the HTML in the browser. Moving on to beginner steps. Now, before anything, I'm going to have to show you the process to install Node.js on your computer. So you're going to have to visit this website to actually install it. Now, I have the current latest version, but I also have the recommended for most users, which I'm going to choose. If you have Mac or Windows, now I have a Windows, so I'm going to choose that. Alright, so in my terminal, and here I'm using VS Code, I created an empty directory and then opened a new file. And to check the version of Node you have installed on your system, you can just write node-v, and then it generates the version of Node you have installed on your system. Now I'm going to start a new project, so I'm going to write node, then I press Ctrl D, and then I'm going to write npm init-y. So npm is a tool you can use to install remote packages to use in your own code. Then I'm going to have my package.json file. Now in my project, we're going to have to use Express as a framework, and it's actually a web application framework that simplifies the process of handling HTTP requests, routing, and middleware integration. But that's actually advanced for a beginner in Node. So I'm just going to write npm install Express. And this should install Express in my package.json. So there we have it, Express installed in my package.json. And here I added another package.json, and it's named package.lock. Now, what are modules in Node? A module is a JS file that expresses code. Node has a number of built-in modules, and you can import a module in Node using require, which is CommonJS, or import export method, which is ESJS. So back to the code. I'm just gonna start off by creating a index.js file. I'm going to require Express for my app. This is the way to write it. And then I'm just gonna build my Express app. This is to mention it in a comment for you. Then I'm going to create another file, which is going to be just HTML. Now I'm just going to use an H1 title, writing I love Node. Now back to my index.js file. Here we're going to write app-get, then the request, and then the response. And it's a function. So read file, and then just my URL, which is gonna be home, HTML, the file we just created. Error in HTML in case we have an error. And I'm just gonna clarify that in a second. So if I have an error, this is going to return the status, which is 500, and a message of error. Otherwise, it's just the HTML. So response.send HTML. Here we need to listen, so my app.listen, process and port, and then it's gonna listen to 3000 localhost. And if it's listening, it's gonna console log
the app is available. All right, so this is sufficient for my app. I'm just gonna write Node to check, and there it's working. App is available. Now on my browser, as you can see, I have I love Node. So it's working. Congrats. Thank you.